If you're thinking about moving to Gig Harbor, Washington, you've already seen the postcard version. The boats bobbing in the marina, the downtown waterfront, and the Mount Rainier backdrop on a clear day. And that part's real. It's totally gorgeous. I've lived and worked around this water for years, and there are still mornings the harbor stops me in my tracks. But here's what the postcard leaves out. There are actually two Gig Harbors, and the one your mailing address says you live in can change your taxes and your home price by a lot. You see, there's a bridge toll that works in only one direction, and almost everybody does the math wrong, usually in the scary direction. And as of 2026, this market quietly shifted in a way that gives buyers more leverage than they've had in years if they know exactly where to look. I'm James Bergstrom. I'm an owner and broker at Paramount Real Estate Group, and I help people relocate across Kitsap, Pierce, and Mason counties. Gig Harbor very much included, so let me be clear about my angle here. I'm not here to sell you on Gig Harbor. I make my living whether you buy here, buy in Tacoma, or stay exactly where you are. What I am here to do is to tell you the truth about this place, the good, the expensive, and the genuinely surprising, so you can decide if it's actually your move or somebody else's dream, and to stick around to the end, because the most important thing I'll tell you isn't a number. It's the one honest question that decides whether Gig Harbor is the smartest move you'll ever make or the most expensive mistake you'll regret for a decade. I'll also give you a little bonus at the end. It'll save the right person tens of thousands of dollars. So let's get into it. It starts with that two Gig Harbor thing, because if you don't understand it, you can overpay before you ever write a single offer. You see, most people say Gig Harbor like it's one tiny little place. It isn't. The actual incorporated city of Gig Harbor, it's tiny, roughly 6 square miles, somewhere around 13,000 people. You could drive across the whole city limits in a few minutes. But the Gig Harbor mailing address, the part the post office recognizes, the part Zillow and Redfin attached to a listing, stretches across a huge chunk of unincorporated Pierce County. So 2 homes can say Gig Harbor, Washington on the envelope, but sit 15 minutes apart and be completely different deals with completely different rules. Why does this matter to your wallet? Well, 3 concrete ways. First, city versus county services. Inside the actual city limits, you're getting city-managed roads, city parks, and city police service, city water, and sewer in most spots. Push out in the unincorporated areas and the picture changes. You may be on a private well instead of a city water or septic system instead of sewer, and county-level service for everything from road maintenance to law enforcement response. None of that is automatically good or bad. But a septic system is a real inspection, a real pumping schedule, and a real replacement cost down the road. And a well means you own your water and your water pump. Second, taxes and fees can differ between an incorporated parcel and an unincorporated one. Different jurisdictions, different levies, different rates. I've had buyers compare 2 homes at the same price and assume the carrying cost was identical, and it wasn't, because one was in the city and one wasn't. Third, and this is the big one, price per square foot swings hard by pocket. Downtown and the waterfront are one tier entirely, a tier of their own. If you push out towards Purdy, toward Rosedale, or across the Purdy Spit into the Key Peninsula, and entry-level homes get dramatically more reachable. That's the same 2 words on the address, Gig Harbor. Wildly different number at the top of the contract. So here's the reframe. The first question isn't, can I afford Gig Harbor? It's which Gig Harbor am I actually buying into? I had a couple last year relocating from out of state, lovely people who spent weeks falling in love with downtown waterfront listings online, and then got genuinely upset that their budget didn't work. It worked perfectly. They were just shopping the most expensive square mile in the entire region and comparing it in their heads to a county acreage parcel they'd also seen. Those aren't competing options. They're not even the same product. Once we separated the map into its real pockets, their budget suddenly made total sense, and they ended up thrilled in a pocket they'd never have found on their own. And speaking of those numbers, let's put real 2026 figures on the table, because the spread between the cheap pocket and the expensive pocket is much wider here than almost anywhere else I work. Here's where I have to be careful, because if you Google Gig Harbor home prices, right now you'll find 5 different numbers and they're all technically right. They're just quietly measuring different slices of exactly what we just talked about. Different pockets, different months, and different sources. So let me give you the honest range as of early to mid 2026, and I'll show you my work. The typical home value for the broader Gig Harbor area sits right around $800,000 and $10,000. Recent monthly median sales prices have run roughly $835,000 up to $940,000 depending on the month and which source you trust. And that's not the sources being sloppy. That's a small market where a handful of big waterfront sales in 1 month can drag the median up. So now, let's break it down into the tiers that actually matter to you. Entry-level homes in Gig Harbor proper in town start around $600,000. Cross the pretty spit out onto the Key Peninsula and you can find entry level closer to $400,000 to $500,000. Condos run roughly $500,000 up to $900,000 depending on whether you're looking at a basic unit or something newer with a view. And the downtown waterfront, the postcard tier, the one everyone screenshots, regularly runs $1.4 million and up. Up meaning genuinely up. There's no real ceiling on the water. Now, the honest comparison everybody actually wants, but agents dodge, Tacoma, right across the bridge. Tacoma's median sits right around $485,000. So you're often looking at a premium of $350,000 or more just for the base Gig Harbor market, and close to $1 million more if you want that downtown waterfront life. That is not a rounding error. That is a different financial decision entirely. But here's how I want you to hold that premium. It isn't a ripoff and it isn't a bargain. It's a lifestyle tax. You're paying for water access, for a genuinely walkable, historic downtown, for the Peninsula School District as a facility, and for that across the bridge separation from the city's density. Whether that tax is worth it is a personal math problem, not a moral one. I had a buyer who walked away from Gig Harbor entirely once she saw that number laid out plainly, and she was right to for her life. I've had others who saw the same number and said, that's exactly what I'm buying and I want it. Both of them made a smart decision because they made it with their eyes open. The question never is it expensive? Well, of course it's expensive. The question is the specific thing that Gig Harbor sells worth that specific premium to me? And that's the question I'll help you answer at the end. And if you're already sitting there mapping out which pocket and which price tier fits you, go to my website, livingbeyondseattle.com. It's full of resources for people like you looking to move out to the great Pacific Northwest. It also has a PDF downloadable relocation guide. Enjoy it, it's free, take it. Again, the link's in the description, it's completely free, no strings. Because one of those cost layers is the one I see wreck more Gig Harbor budgets than anything else. And it's not the mortgage, it's a bridge. Let me show you the toll math everybody gets wrong. If you work in Tacoma, in Seattle, or at Joint Base Lewis-McChord, you're crossing the Tacoma Narrows Bridge to get there, and there's no sneaking around it. It's the way off the peninsula toward the city, and the single most common mistake I hear almost every week is people doubling the toll in their heads. Don't. You're about to budget twice what you actually pay, and here's the truth, and it's the part that surprises almost everyone. The toll is only charged in one direction eastbound, heading toward Tacoma. Coming home to Gig Harbor, heading west, it's free. You pay going to the city, you don't pay coming back. So you're paying once per round trip and not twice. As a 2026, for a standard 2-axle car, it's roughly $4.50 with a good to go pass. It's about $5.50 if you pay at the booth and around $6.50 if you let it bill you by mail. The pass is the cheapest option by a real margin, and setting one up takes about 10 minutes online. So do the commuter math honestly. One paid crossing a day, 5 days a week. With a pass, you're looking in the ballpark of $90 to $110 a month. Call it a bit, over $1,000 a year, and now that's real money. I'm not gonna wave it away, but it's about half of what people scare themselves with when they wrongly double it, and that's the difference. That imaginary extra $1,000 a year is enough to talk somebody out of a house they'd have loved. And there are 2 more things the brochure won't tell you. 1, the commute itself. The census mean travel time to work for Gig Harbor is about 29 minutes in Tacoma services. The hospitals, the shopping, the airport connections are all roughly 15 to 20 minutes across the bridge on a good day. And that's genuinely close. 2, direction and a timing matter more than distance. Eastbound Highway 16 towards the bridge backs up in the morning rush as everybody heads to work in the city. The westbound side near Gig Harbor backs up in the afternoon as everybody comes home. So your real commute isn't just about how far you live from the bridge, it's about when you'll be sitting on it. And I've had buyers who work an early or a late shift barely touch traffic, and buyers on a 9 to 5 who hit it both ways. So here's the takeaway. Set up a good to go account before you even move. Do it the week you go under contract, budget 1 crossing a day, not 2, and look at homes through the lens of when you'll actually be on that bridge, not just the mileage. The toll itself is completely manageable, and the toll that stings is the unplanned one. The one you didn't budget for because somebody doubled it in their head and scared themselves, or the commute you didn't picture at the wrong hour. So plan it, and then it's a non-issue. Now, here's the part that actually changes your negotiating power in 2026, because while everyone's still arguing about tolls and sticker prices, the market underneath them quietly has shifted. So for a few years, Gig Harbor was a classic, brutal seller's market, almost no inventory, homes selling in days, multiple offers stacked way over asking, hundreds of thousands even, buyers waiving everything just to win. And if those frenzy years are the only version of this market you know, you're going to walk in scared, negotiate scared when you absolutely don't have to. Because in 2026, the picture is more mixed, and several parts of it have tilted genuinely towards buyers. So here's the data in plain English. Inventory is up depending on the month. The Gig Harbor area has been running around 4+ months of supply, and here's the rule of thumb to keep in your pocket. Anything above roughly 3 months of supply starts to favor buyers. We're past that line in a lot of the market. Days on market have stretched out too. Homes that of 2 years ago would have flown off the shelf in a weekend are now sitting 2 to 3 months in a lot of cases. And the spread between list price and final sale price, it's widened, which is the clearest sign of all. It means sellers are negotiating. Homes have been closing meaningfully below asking in parts of this market, which simply did not happen in the frenzy years. But here's the specific pocket with the most leverage right now, and almost nobody's talking about it. New construction. Several new construction projects priced roughly $930,000 up to $1.5 million hit the market in late 2025, and that particular segment ballooned to well over a year of supply. In plain terms, in the business, we'd call that recycled inventory sitting through a slow absorption rate. When a builder has finished homes sitting unsold month after month, their incentive to deal changes completely. If you're buying new construction in that price band right now, builders are more negotiable than they've been in years. I'm talking rate buy downs where they pay to lower your interest rate, closing cost credits, some free upgrades maybe, appliance packages. That's all on the table when product is sitting. A builder will almost always protect their headline price, but give you value in other ways. So don't just ask for a price cut, ask what they'll throw in. So the move in 2026 is not to rush in terrified, you'll lose the house. That instinct is left over from a market that's long gone. The move is to come in informed, to know which segments are soft, to know your 3-month rule, and to actually ask, because in several Gig Harbor price tiers, the leverage is sitting on your side of the table right now, and the only buyers who capture it are the ones who realized the market changed, and the ones still negotiating like it's the frenzy are leaving real money, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars in credits and buy downs on the table. Of course, the sticker price and the toll are only part of what it actually costs to live here. There's a whole layer underneath both of them, and Washington has one genuine surprise that works strongly in your favor. Your real monthly cost of living in Gig Harbor isn't just principal and interest on the loan. There are 3 layers sitting underneath that mortgage payment, and one of them is a genuine Washington advantage that people relocating here forget to count, and it's worth real money every single year. Let's go through them. Layer 1, the good surprise. Washington has no state income tax, none, at least for now. Of course, they're trying to pull some stuff, but for a household relocating from a high income tax state, that offset is real, it's ongoing, and it changes the true cost comparison dramatically. If you're coming from California or from Oregon right next door, you're potentially keeping thousands of dollars a year you used to send to the state. So when I sit down with relocating buyers from those states and we actually run it, That no income tax number often eats a meaningful chunk of the gig harbor premium we talked about earlier. It doesn't erase it, but it bends the math a little, and most people forget to put it on the scale at all. Layer 2, rent. If you're testing the area first, which I genuinely recommend for a lot of people, average rent in Gig Harbor runs around $2,400 a month, noticeably above the national average that sits closer to $1,900. So renting here isn't cheap, but it can be the smartest money you spend because it lets you learn the pockets, learn the bridge at your actual commute hour, and learn whether the gray winter is your friend or your enemy before you sink a down payment into the wrong square mile. Layer 3, the carrying costs that ride on top of the mortgage, property taxes, and in many newer subdivisions or waterfront communities, HOA dues. These are the layer people forget until the first payment on a roughly $900,000 home at today's rates. Your principal and interest alone can land somewhere in the $4,700 to $4,900 a month range. And that's before you add property taxes, before insurance, and before any HOA. The HOA in particular can be modest or it can be a few $100s a month in a community with shared docks, private roads, or amenities. So you have to ask the number on every single home. So when you build your Gig Harbor budget, build it in honest layers and start with the mortgage. Stack property taxes and HOA on top, and that's your true housing payment. Then, if you're coming from a tax state, subtract the income tax savings you're about to bank, because the people who get genuinely house poor in Gig Harbor are almost always the ones who only budgeted layer 1, fell in love with the principal and interest number, and got ambushed by everything that rides on top of it. Don't be that person. The full stack is noble before you ever make an offer. And once you've got the money side completely honest, the real question is what you actually get for all of it day to day. So let's talk about what living here genuinely feels like in a normal week, and just as honestly where it falls short. This is the part the price tags can't show you. The texture of an ordinary Tuesday in Gig Harbor, and it's the part that for the right person justifies the whole premium, and for the wrong person, it doesn't. The water is the whole point. I can't say that strongly enough. Downtown Gig Harbor is so lovely, it's genuinely walkable. Harborview Drive curving along the shoreline, the marina, Jarisich Dock, where you can literally tie up a boat and walk to dinner, restaurants and shops sitting right on the waterfront. That kind of walkable waterfront downtown is genuinely rare in the South Sound, and it's a big honest slice of why the premium exists. So on a summer evening down there with the boats in and the lights on the harbor, you understand exactly what people are paying for. For families, the Peninsula School District is a major draw, and I'm going to stay carefully in my lane here. I talk about the school district strictly as a facility and not a logistics factor. Schools is part of this infrastructure, the same way I talk about commute times or where the parks are. That's the only frame I'll ever use, and it's the right one. The outdoors here are constant, not a special occasion. Parks, trails, and Puget Sound access are minutes from most homes, not a weekend road trip. You can have water access be a Tuesday after work thing instead of a once a summer thing. And for a lot of people, that completely changes how they actually live. And the honest part, the weather is classic Pacific Northwest. Roughly 47 inches of rain a year and somewhere around 143 sunny days. So the gray season is real and it's long. If dark, wet winters genuinely wear on you, that is worth a real gut check before you move. Not a discovery you make your first February. I always tell people, visit in November if you can, not just July. July sells itself. November tells you the truth. So here's the honest version of daily life. You're trading some convenience and some sunshine in exchange for water, walkability, and real separation from the city's density and noise. For the right person, that trade is an absolute steal. They'd pay it twice. For the wrong person, it's expensive way to be 20 minutes from everything across a bridge under a gray sky. Same town, same price, completely different experience, and the only variable is whether you're the right person for it. Which brings me to the one question that actually matters, because after all the numbers, all the toll math, and all the market talk, whether you should actually move to Gig Harbor comes down to the one honest test, and here it is. I've helped enough people relocate to this peninsula to see the same pattern play out over and over. Gig Harbor is absolutely fantastic, life improving. Move for one specific kind of a person and a slow motion budget trap for another. So let me give you the honest test, the same one I'd give a friend who called me for the real answer instead of a sales pitch. I'm not gonna do that. Gig Harbor is probably right for you if a few things are true. Your household income comfortably supports the premium, comfortably meaning it fits. Not that you stretch and pray to reach it. You work remotely, or you commute is genuinely short, or honestly, you don't mind a planned bridge crossing as part of your day. The Peninsula School District matters to your family as a facility. And this is the real one. You actually value the specific things you're paying for. The water, the walkable downtown, the small town separation from the city. If you're paying the water premium and you're not a water person, you're just lighting money on fire for a view you don't even use. So now the flip side, and I'll say this plainly enough, though I sell here. Gig Harbor is probably the wrong move if you're stretching your budget just to get the address, because the carrying costs we talked about will find you. It's the wrong move if your work means crossing that bridge twice a day in peak traffic. And you already know. Deep down, you'll resent it by month 3, and it's probably the wrong move if your honest budget is under about $700,000 and you're really truly comparing Gig Harbor to Tacoma. In that case, I mean this, look hard at North Tacoma first. You may well get more home, a shorter commute, and no bridge at all. And there's zero shame in the smarter math. I'd rather you buy the right house in Tacoma and tell your friends I told you the truth than buy the wrong one here on my watch. And here's the bonus nobody hands you. Don't move to Gig Harbor, move to a specific pocket at a specific price tier that matches your specific commute and your specific budget. That sounds small. It's the entire game plan. The person who picks the right pocket, maybe the Key Peninsula for genuine value, maybe Purdy for in-between sweet spot, and maybe downtown, if the income truly supports it, gets all of the upside with none of the regret. Because here's the thing I've learned after all these moves. Gig Harbor doesn't disappoint people. Buying the wrong Gig Harbor does. Get the pocket right and this place delivers everything the postcard promised. So that's the honest truth about Gig Harbor in 2026. There are 2 Gig Harbors and the address on the envelope matters more than people think. The price range is enormous, from the 400,000s on to the Key Peninsula to 1.4 million and up downtown or on the waterfront property. So figure out your tier before you fall in love. The toll only runs one direction, so for heaven's sakes, don't double it. In 2026, the leverage has quietly shifted towards buyers in several segments, especially new construction, so come in informed and ask for what's on the table. Budget your real cost in layers and bank that no income tax advantage if you're bringing it with you. And whether the whole thing is right for you come down to 3 things: income alignment, your commute reality, and whether you genuinely value what you're paying for. So here's what to do next. If you're not ready to move yet, but you want the real Pacific Northwest relocation playbook, hey, subscribe and stick with me. Every week I break down another Kitsap, Pierce, or Mason County's market with the same no postcard honesty. And if you're getting serious about Gig Harbor and you want someone who will tell you which pocket actually fits your budget and your commute, not just sell you the prettiest listing, book a free relocation strategy call with me. The link's right down in the description. Go check out my website, livingbeyondseattle.com. Bring your real budget and your real commute, and I'll bring the truth. Wherever you land, move smart. My name is James Bergstrom, again with Paramount Real Estate Group. Thank you so much for watching. I'll hope to see you on the next one.